So let's turn to receive that very same grace through bread and wine now. Boland called out in the background, "Malcolm says the clump is David East heading down the steps." There it was. Thud, thud, thud. Matt closed his eyes and quickly constructed a virtual interior of St. Bart's in his mind. The high wooden pulpit, the sloping route back to the chancel, the wooden exit door to the right. He squinted, trying to erase the giant glowing cube that was there before. This morning, it would have just been the stone floor, the railing, the altar. Just as he thought that, he heard the squeak of the gate on the tape and what sounded like an echoed laugh. Was that Mika laughing? Matt said, eyes still closed. Just the congregation. Keep listening. Nothing much was happening, so Matt tapped the volume up a little. He jumped when Reverend East started instituting the communion. "For I received from the Lord that which I also passed on to you." He mouthed the words along with East. How many times had he himself said those words in church? "The Lord Jesus, on the night he was betrayed, took bread. And after giving thanks, he broke it, saying, 'This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me.'" The breeze suddenly geared up a notch outside, and he heard the big oak behind their back gate start whipping its branches against the cabin. He cranked the volume a little louder. "And in the same way, after supper, he took the cup, saying, 'This is the new covenant in my blood. Do this whenever—'" East trailed off for a moment, as if distracted by something. Matt heard him clear his throat. When the voice came back, it was odd and unsteady. "Do this whenever you drink it in remembrance of me. For whenever you see this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim—" The voice trailed off again. "He's seen something," Matt said. "He sounds the Lord's death, until he comes again. This is it," Boland said, almost in a whisper. "Brace yourself." Matt grabbed his pen, shut his eyes tight, and pushed an ear towards the phone, considering that perhaps he'd rather not hear this after all. Too late. "Eloi, Eloi," Mika's voice. "Lama Kataltani." Matt's eyebrows shot up, and he scribbled the words down. A new sound, some sort of impact that sounded very slight on the tape, yet it still made Matt jump and scrawl a ragged accidental line on his pad. Footsteps staggered on the stone floor. Then it was hard to make anything else out, because the background filled with noise, screams mostly. He could picture it more vividly than he expected, or indeed wanted. The swinging teenage arm, the long wooden handle slicing the air, the block of sharp metal hacking and burying itself into his scalp, then being yanked back out again. The sympathy he'd had for Mika East was, he suddenly noticed, fairly non-existent now. A groan of revulsion flowed out of him. Those screams. It was impossible not to visualize the congregation wailing and tearing their hair out, while Mika slammed the axe. And this was the very worst part. He could hear East pitifully pleading with his own child for mercy. "Son," he kept saying, "Son, no." Mika's response was suddenly in English. He said, "Please, Dad, don't look in my eyes." Matt scrawled that down. Then, soon after, that odd phrase came again. Only it was shuddering and desperate now, and slightly different this time. "Avi, Lama Kataltani." He scraped his pencil on the paper again in sharp capital lines. Avi. There were new sounds in the chaos now. Feet were running, and a door was flung open, followed by a roar of wind and horrified shouts. The voice of a woman came. It was more clear and crisp than before, because she must have been close to East now, and to the little mic, clipped to his robes. This must have been when she held him. "Jesus, please," it was Miriam's voice.